Hey fourth graders, it's Miss Estepa here. I'm going to show you how you can use a resource that is in y'all's enrichment for this week working on multiplication, specifically the resource that are your math flips for using the commutative property. So I'm going to pop this open and we're going to do one together so that you know what it can look like as you're going through these slides on your own. Now as this pops up, you might start recognizing some of these images from when you guys were in your classroom, because quite a few of your teachers used visuals from math flips during y'all's number talk. So how it usually works in school is you have a card, and on one side of the card you would have one image that you could then connect to an image on the other side of the card, or it might just be a fact that you can connect to another fact on the other side of the card. But since we don't have cards and you guys don't have the cards at home, you can do it in slides. So let's take a look at this slide right here and talk about what do I notice. So in this slide right here, I see a 10 frame, but only 2 cells of the 10 frame have a number in it. And I can see that this is 2 groups of, let's see, I see 6 and one more, that's 7. So I see 2 groups of 7. Now I know that 7 plus 7 is 14. That one's really easy for me because I know that double. And if you don't know that one super easy, this is how I think about it. Inside of 7, do you see how I'm tracing over like 5 of the dots? I know that 5 and 5 makes 10. And then there's 2 left and 2 left, and 2 and 2 makes 4. And then I know 10 and 4, that makes 14. Now, I used to have to think about it a little bit slower like that when I was younger, but I've done that so many times now that I just think, well, 2 sevens, I know 2 sevens is 14, and that's how quick it is for me. So let me think about how we can use that to help me with the next slide. All right, so on the next slide, I don't see 2 groups of 7, but I do see something related. My last slide, remember, was 2 groups of 7, 2 times 7, that was 14. But on this slide, I don't see 2 groups of 7, but I see 5, 6, 7 groups of 2. And so what you guys might be saying is like, well, it's just a turnaround fact. The factors are flipped. And we know that when we use the commutative property, we can flip the factors in a multiplication problem and this product will be the same. When I see this image, it kind of makes me want to count by twos, like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. But do you see how that took me longer than just thinking, well, 2 sevens is 14? So what that means is if you see a fact like 7 times 2, when you're doing your math work, it's a lot faster to think about it as 2 sevens. Or it could be something like 8 times 10. You don't want to think about 10 eighths. Who wants to put 10 eighths together? That's going to take forever. But you can think about 8 tens and know that that's 80 really fast. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying using that commutative property to flip those factors to get our product quicker. So now that you have seen how you can kind of use some of these slides to practice using the commutative property to get your product quicker, you can click on the slides below and practice on your own. All right, see y'all soon.